Hello, hello. This is Nick Souza from the Digital Arts Experience bringing you some extra content. Basically, this content is just some projects and things we're doing after hours outside of work, some for fun, some for learning and whatnot. And in my case, it's a little mixture of both. I'm here playing Jedi Fallen Order. It's a game that came out, I think, at least 6 months ago or something. And I had a really fun time with it. I've already beaten this game, and I'm actually going to be playing it again. For maybe not the whole way through, but for a decent chunk. And the main reason I'm doing this is because I have a very keen interest in game design. I want to eventually make my own game of some sort. Don't know how long it's going to take to come to fruition, but I enjoy playing games. I enjoy learning how they're put together, the different facets of game design, and I figured what better way to do that than to play a game that I heavily enjoy and see if I can pick out any details from it. I'm also heavily inspired by other game creators who have done some similar stuff in the past. There's one particular set of videos that I learned from Extra Credits when they sat down with, I think his name was Josh Foreman. They analyzed the new Tomb Raider series, the first game, I believe, and I learned quite a bit from that. So I'm hoping to kind of take a little bit of inspiration from that and apply it towards this. This is not going to be just like a playthrough or like where you're just recording, video and, just watching the game unfold, because lots of people have already done that. I want to see if I can do this in the moment and, see if I can pick up any tidbits. So with that being said, we are going to start a new game, but just to show you where I've been. So one thing, I'm going to mention two things here. First off, I've played the game already on Jedi Master, which is apparently the way you're supposed to play it. It's like the second hardest difficulty, and that was tough. I am going to be playing through this again, so obviously there's going to be spoilers. I'm going to be talking about things that relate to the game in the past, so if you want to play this game and just enjoy it for what it is and not get any spoilers whatsoever, go play it first and then come back and watch this later and we can learn some stuff together. Another thing I'm going to mention is that I am not exactly the best at playing a video game and talking. That is very much a very real skill. So appreciate those YouTubers who do that for a regular living, because I tried recording this 2 times previously and my thoughts were all over the place and it was absolute garbage. So we're going to do this a 3rd time and try not to make an absolute mess of it. So let's start a new journey. And again, I did this on Jedi Master previously, but if I want to kind of take a moment to examine things and talk about game design and try and maybe analyze some things, I probably should do this on story mode and or Jedi Knight. But with that said, I kind of want to try it out on Jedi Grandmaster just to see how badly I get my butt handed to me. So we're going to do that for right now. I can change it later if it's too tough. So there's going to be a lot to talk about in this game, but there's a number of cutscenes, particularly in the first 40 minutes. So this is probably going to be a slightly longer episode than normal, and we're not going to be able to talk as much about all the different things that go into this game right off the bat. So it's probably going to be me talking for a little bit and then me being quiet for a little bit because I don't want to talk during a particular cutscene. I may jump in with a thought or two or something for a split second, but that's about it. So now it's a cutscene. I'm going to be quiet.
I don't want to upset your rhythm, Cal.
I absolutely love the fact that it transitions to his headphones. It's just a really nice touch.
It'll be good for us. Here he is, Chief.
So, the majority of the cutscene is over. So I am going to jump in here just to quickly talk about our main character. Cal is the red-headed gentleman, and it is very interesting to see how his character relates to the whole game, which, by the way, I should say at this point, Again, there's going to be spoilers throughout most of this. I'm going to try and avoid specific details. But one thing that I really appreciate about this game is how it puts details right in front of you, and they have a greater meaning as you go through the game. Like if we look at Cal for example, he has I don't know if we can see it from this angle. Let me see if I can get into the light here. All right, well, you'll look out for it, but basically he has a set of scars across his face, and this relates to his whole past and when he was fleeing from the Purge during Order 66. And there's a lot of character details, and this also goes into his lightsaber, which he inherited from his master, which also relates to his trauma as a character and why you don't have all of his Jedi abilities. Because he basically cut himself off from the Force. I don't have double jump. It's really nerve-wracking right now. And it's interesting to see how his character is related to the game in that you don't have access to all the regular Jedi abilities. You're not very powerful because you lost sort of a piece of yourself. Let me see if I can see that angle here. No, I can't. So the game did a really good job of tying in the character of Cal to you as a player because you're playing it for the first time. So you learn and grow together, which is a really powerful combination, and it ties into the story as well.
Will you look at that? The Separatist ship. I haven't seen a Luke or Hulk in ages.
I just realized he did the classic Skywalker pose.
Her will be
Did not catch that the first like 5 times.
All right, let's go.
All right, so we're officially in the tutorial level. And one thing that I'll say about the game is that it uses a variety of cues to try and direct you where to go. And I didn't catch this the first time, but there's this big old cable going this way, and it's, I'm going to go this way. Plus, Prof went in that direction. So as you move forward, it automatically moves you into this tight space. And also try to use a little bit of color, which I'll go back. Oh, Prof will be fine. Don't worry about Prof. He's good.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
There's also like this red paneling here
Ladder's out.
and this red siding that will try and direct you. There's also, I didn't even see that arrow the first
No
time.
problem. I'll improvise.
But it's trying to direct you through color and shape about where to go. It's also doing this, so you can see here we follow the cable, and then we lead over here, and we got this sort of like white texture, this like white scuff mark stuff, and this is basically telling you, hey, you should go this way, and it's actually okay. It's basically teaching you the different areas of terrain that you're going to encounter throughout the game. So you've got tight spaces over there, you've got slide stuff, and we're going to see where these textures reappear. I will say that one thing I hate about this game is that it's the jumping mechanics are okay. Shush, droid. The jumping mechanics are pretty good, but controlling the slide when you're going down the ramps are a little wonky. And again, we can see that sort of white texture on the edge over here telling us that this is where we need to go, and that is a jumpable surface. There are some areas in the game where you won't be able to get to until you get a double jump, which is why I was freaking out a little bit earlier, because I no longer have my double jump. And there's that foreboding camera there, that droid. He's going to come into play later. Another important thing about this level is it's very safe. And what I mean by that is if I miss this jump, I'm not going to lose any health. I'm not going to die. There's a platform right here. It allows you, and I also have an easy way to get out as well. Again, using that texture to see what's going on. So, like, all really good tutorial levels make it safe for the player. You know, it allows you to fail without any real repercussions, at least not yet. So, very, very cool stuff. Now, in this case, we just saw some droids go by, and they are basically directing us to go in this direction. Also very cool. Also, we're in Star Wars, man. That's just fun.
Easy there.
I tried to double jump
Just
again.
passing through.
Careful, stabilizers out.
Thank you, sir. More scratches.
I told you to replace the
And okay, here we go. So now this is where it basically introduces you to to gripping. So this is, you can climb stuff, but you have to hold down L2 to kind of like cement your grip. So I know in like the old like Uncharted games that if you could climb a surface, I seem to recall that if you jumped toward it, you would automatically hang on. So I'm wondering why the developers made the choice to have you hit the L2 button
Get this job done.
to try and grab it. I wonder if that's for game, to like engage you in the game, like making you feel like you're actually doing it. Because
Cal.
Good to see you.
oh,
Two.
hi.
Don't get yourself killed.
So
That's the idea.
I'm wondering why the developers decided to have you just press a button when that could be automated. I think my suspicion is that it's meant to kind of keep you engaged. Now, the reason I paused here is because those rats we saw across, there's no way for me to know as a player if this is walkable or not. Not all games do that. Generally, it's only like thicker platforms. Oh god, I hate this though. I'd be freaking out if this were real. But those rats were showing us where to go, so that's using motion to kind of direct you a little bit. And I didn't catch this the first time on this playthrough. Hi, Stormtrooper helmets. So the rat's going through again, and the droid is also sort of pointing you that way. There's an arrow here. It's very clearly pointing you where to go, and even the shape on the outside here is funneling into a smaller space. So we've got use of light, we had color, we've got texture, we've got motion, and
Sounds like
using
scrap
the
rats.
actual physical scenery
Could be.
as well, which is all really
Just
cool.
passing through, guys.
So it
No need
makes
to come out
the
and
it makes
say
it
hi
very
this time.
intuitive. Show you where to go without like someone going, you need to go this way. Because whenever I'm playing a game, you don't want someone just going, now you must do this, and then you must do that. That's a very boring experience. This feels good. And hi, Prof.
Hey, Cal, I'll meet you at the clamps.
Sounds good. Be there soon.
The other thing that this level does really well is it teaches stuff to you in segments. It doesn't bombard you with a lot of information. Like if it tried to teach me how to jump, swing, and like slide down stuff all at one go, then you know I would probably get overwhelmed really quickly.
How'd you
Hi.
Huh?
What? See, now they're ramping it up. Now there's no fall here. And then now they're slowly starting to combine elements together. Because before, I don't think I had something to grip after swinging on a vine, but now they're mixing elements of all the mechanics. So now we have versus where we just had a slide before, now we have to jump and grab and then jump onto a slidey area. So it's very slowly building us up. And here we've got a good example of camera framing, where as I came around the corner, it would, not only did we see this nice vista, but there's a very clear rope showing me where to go. I also just love the scenery in this game. Can we just take a second? Cal, do you mind hanging out? Yeah, just hang out there for a second. What is that? Oh, okay, it's hanging up there. But I love the scenery here, and, you know, so this is Old Republic Cruiser. You've got, like, the tanks and the flying machines from Attack of the Clone Wars, and it's all grayed out and foggy and just not used, and everything's being broken up and scrapped apart. It's very bleak and very like unwelcoming, just an age of a bygone past. So it's just good visual storytelling too. Hiya, fellas.
Hurry, we gotta finish before they start cutting this wing.
Also, real quick, I know I've seen this thing a million times before, but it just freaks me out every time. It's like the older Sarlacc's cousin or something. It just... Ugh. Anyway. We got more... I don't know who keeps putting these panels all over the place.
Cal, use the manual override lever below.
So we got more of that red and white texture there to clearly show us it's jumpable. But I must say, whoever decided to put the override lever on this particular area of the ship,
Your turn.
not a great design. I know it's just a tutorial, but whatever Star Wars engineer thought that would be a good idea.
Whoa! You okay?
No, thank you.
Give me a fright there, pal.
I will say this game would be exponentially harder if we had an endurance meter to worry about, because we would have fallen like 5 times already.
We're done. Get out up here.
Something else I also want to point out is, well, actually, we're gonna hit a cutscene in a second because I've recorded this
Come take a
before,
look at
so
this.
hold off on that.
It's a Jedi fighter. What a score! It's a real scrapper's payday. I mean, this he's been here, what, 4 years?
5.
Whoever flew this went down in a blaze of glory. Those Jedi. Real tragedy. Yeah, I've always said they couldn't all be traitors.
Yeah, maybe.
Guess it's just our lucky day. Empire's gonna get a lot of good material.
That's a really cool moment because
Yeah, here we
we
are,
technically don't know that
scrapping
Cal's a
ship
Jedi
just
yet,
they
so
can
that
turn
symbol
around
has a
and make new
very
ones.
big meaning for him.
All of us risking our necks for the bosses. And the pay was better back during the Republic, too.
Hey, you really should watch what you say.
Listen to me. Find us feel like this, it'll be your ticket off this soggy rock.
What makes you think I want out of here?
Come on, Cal, you're a young guy. You don't end up like me. Eventually, you gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny.
I also appreciate the work that went into Croft, because compared to Cal, he's got like a lot of oil built into his hands and dirt and grime and scratches. Shows he's like been here a
Hey,
while.
we should get back down.
You're not listening to me. What was that?
Like Cal's not exactly squeaky. Oh no, I forgot about this. Cal's not exactly squeaky clean, but he's a little bit fresher. And oh, I hate the slide mechanic. I hate the slide mechanic. That's like my biggest gripe. Ooh, ow. If I had to do half the stuff that Cal does, I would have gray hair by the time I'm 35. This is...
Bruh, you okay?
No, we're not. Hi, droid.
I can't climb up!
Bruh! Just hang on!
I'm slipping!
No, don't let go!
I can't hold on!
Bruh! No!
Alright, so teachable moment here. We just used the Force for the first time.
You okay, bruh?
I'm all right. Just pin down.
I'll wait for this to finish. Just throws the droid.
I'll get us out of here! Just hang on!
Watch out, Cal!
Look out!
Why are there spikes on the tentacles? Why?
This thing is barely flying! Hold on! Bro, you alright?
Yeah. Okay,
We gotta move, come on.
What the hell happened? What was that back there? Was that you? Well, that was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please
No,
trust
but
me.
I've seen them. I've seen the stories. I've heard it. There's
Bro,
bounties out on people
I
like
know!
you.
I know.
Oh yeah, there's a scar.
Yeah, we're ready. We need to be careful.
Alright, so
Yeah.
I'm going to jump here because there's a lot that just went down. So one thing that another good part of this game and tutorials in general is it gives you time to try out your new abilities. During that moment with the Force, there was a very long stretch of time. Had I let it play out, it would have given you ample time to hit the correct button.
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah. Cal, I've been working with you some time now. I've never seen you do anything like that.
Also, really appreciate the fact they're including new abilities from the new Star Wars movies. So this time slowdown that Kylo Ren used, though he used it on Blaster Bolt, but you know,
Risk
whatever.
that you took for me. I don't know how to repay you.
Don't mention it. I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. This place, it's not safe. Maybe you should, disappear.
Just gonna head back to my place, grab my bag, Tappers owes me a favor.
I heard he was up
To this day, I still don't know who Tappers is,
Yeah.
and I would like to know.
You won't be seeing me for a while.
That sounds interesting. So, in the sequel, maybe, let us know who Tappers is, please.
Okay, Cal.
Curiosity is speaking. There we go. So, already the game is reusing some old things we've already seen. The camera's just pointing us directly where to go, and the people are also like funneling like an arrow. So we gotta like go through here.
Prof?
So they are reusing the same ideas just in different ways, which is pretty cool. Also, I love story moments like this.
Prof, wait up.
Also, the fact that the people disappear when you walk through. Oh, it's so good. So good. I love it. Things get mysterious.
Where are you going?
One thing that, well, I say one thing. Another thing that I really appreciate about this game is how it integrates the mixture of Cal's past and how that manifests through his trauma and the force visions that he has. Like this one. I love that transition. Oh, it's great. I wouldn't know how to do it myself in code or whatever, but my basic guess is that once this texture right here was probably almost the same as the train, so that way when they transition over, just as soon as like it's out of camera shot or something, like there's some like pattern that they can meld a little bit better, that, or it's just done completely through where the camera's looking. But it was great. Love it. No droid, come back. I demand it. That's also great. Tension's cranking up. There's also something to be said about story integration in the games. I'll come back to that in a second.
Apprentice, mark well and listen.
Master.
Trust only in the Force.
Train has stopped.
Yeah, something's going on.
Everybody up. Identification ready. Move out and line up.
A real quick thought.
Contraband inspection.
So one thing that I am aware of is whenever you have a weapon, whether it's a sword or a gun or whatever it might be, you're supposed to hold it down like those guys. So either the stormtroopers don't care or they're not trained. Like those guys were holding them down toward the ground, which is what you're supposed to do. Oh, hi, Trilla. How you doing? Good to see ya. These guys are holding the weapons down, so I don't know what's up with that. Oh, that guy's got staff.
Is this all of them?
Yes, second sister.
We seek a dangerous fugitive. This is no common anarchist, but a devotee of the treasonous Jedi Order.
Hi, how you doing?
Over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition.
I know I've already beaten both of them, but they
Turn
still
yourself
intimidate me.
in, or everyone present shall face summary execution.
I think it's time someone came forward. I've been working on this heap a long time. Way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships. Best in the galaxy. Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
Prof.
We all know the truth. We're just too afraid to say it. To the Empire, we're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
No!
Look at this. A lightsaber.
I found the Jedi!
I have to say, Cal survives some of the roughest stuff.
Oh, that hurts.
This is another good part of the tutorial where,
How'd you get here?
again, until they teach you the basics, nothing will happen. So I can
You don't need to call this.
I can wait. Well, maybe not forever, but it gives me a moment to learn what I need to do. Also, can I just say I love the texturing? Someone graffitied the droid. I did not notice that the first time I played this. All right, here we go.
Jedi? The traitor! Blast him! Hold still!
Yeah. So
Contact confirmed.
we're gonna talk a little bit more about combat when I'm not going back and forth between cutscenes. But yeah, there we go. Oh.
Unpassed.
I've literally played through this twice in the past little bit. Oh, you jerk.
You! Get up here! It's on me now! I'll never stop!
Alright, so we're going to play through this. I'm going to talk more about combat, but I'm going to save that for the another episode because there's a lot to this combat.
One way out.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right, here we go. So one thing I want to mention at this point, though, is these panels on the wall. Anything that you can climb on is shaped or presented in a very similar fashion, either through the crossbars or through like that sort of tiling pattern to make it easy for the player to recognize when something is climbable. That's just not just for a tutorial. That's also for just good design and making sure that
That's how you prepare for death.
making sure that you can recognize when you're able to do something.
Solid guard. I can't do this by myself.
So as you can see, a big part of this game involves the guard. And I only have a limited number of stamina. And if those guys break my stamina, then they're going to hit me, and I'm going to die a lot faster. However, I can break their guard for way more damaging attacks. Oh, Now, of course, I also have force abilities. And we'll talk about that as well. All right, did I do the things? Are you going to let me proceed now? There we go. Again, we've got that pattern here where it makes it very easy for the player to recognize, oh, that's a climbable thing. That's just not just for a tutorial level. That is just good design and making it very readable, intuitive. Again, you want to try and avoid, you know, just saying, oh, you need to go this way, because then there's no sense of discovery and learning involved. And this ties into... Oh, I got that other guy, too. Oh, no, I didn't. Because if the game's going to hold your hand, then it's going to feel like
I'm ready.
you're not learning anything. And that ties into a bigger aspect of game design where your game is learning and adapting. And if you're not firing off that part of your brain, then the game's not going to feel like it's been worth it. It's just going to feel wrong. It's a little bit hard to talk a little bit about that in more detail, but I do talk about this in a couple classes that we run, so Shameless plug. I don't have the double jump. I keep forgetting. So I'm going to try and not die here while I talk.
You should run from this squadron.
But one thing you don't want to do is let these guys control the battle. You also don't want to get stuck between them. If you stay in the middle,
I can't get a good hit.
you will die.
I can't do this by myself.
I'm trying to work out the timing there for the parry. There it is. Yeah! Okay, cool. Moving on. So we're going to try and save the combat talk for later. So another part that I didn't talk about earlier was teaching you that your lightsaber is more than a weapon. It doesn't come up a lot in the game, but I need to slice through these cables, and that will reinforce that sometimes you need to use your lightsaber as a tool, not as a weapon.
Stop the train.
And they do that a few times in this particular instance. So cool. Moving on. And I forgot about this section.
Need cover. Gotta move in between bursts.
Gotta go fast, gotta go fast. Hey. Alright, come on. Time to run, 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 time to run. Yeah.
He's here.
Bye, buddy. Bye, buddy. Like, can you imagine how much harder this game would be if they didn't keep those textures and shapes closely related? I'd be much more confused.
No!
I'm right there with you, Cal. All right. Oh boy. Whoa. Again, using more of that direction, where we've got the. I know, very lousy time to talk about game design and theory and all that, but we've got those same use of textures being combined together. So, using like that rust along with these bars here to get you up here.
Only way is up.
That's like another interesting thing is when you're like looking throughout a game is like they'll introduce you to a couple of different concepts at one point, like one at a time, and then later in the game they will mix them together for different results. That also applies to combat too, but again, I'm going to try avoiding too crazy into that. But the basic premise of this game is a primary feature is the guard and the parry mechanic. And we'll hold off till later. Hold on a second.
We're here to help!
Who are you?
No time! Keep moving! We'll pick you up when we can!
Whoa. Alright, am I going to get attacked by anything in here? Basically, a big part of this game is the combat. It does focus mostly on a parrying system and breaking the guard. Other games have an endurance meter where basically when your endurance goes down, oh hi guys.
Don't follow too closely. We'll win easy.
So I don't have an endurance meter. I can continue to move around and block, but there's only so long my guard holds for.
I think I can catch him.
So if that goes, then... Oh, when did I do that? I don't know how I did that. So across the board, whether it's an enemy trooper or myself, the...
Stay back. Just stay back.
If I can break their guard, I can potentially do a humongous amount of damage, but it works both ways. So being very careful of that is very important. Now, one thing I want to mention here before I move on is I've ran into this problem where I thought this open door was a place to go, and I don't know if it's just open to give a little bit more of a vista outside, like to see what's going on, or just to say the train's being messed up. But I thought maybe there was a possibility the developers left this door open here to teach you that, hey, just because you can see an opening does not mean you should go through it, because if I leap off of this, I will die. And because this is the tutorial level, it just respawns you back nearby, and it will keep doing that no matter how many times you fail. So I couldn't help but wonder if this was a teachable moment, and if it was purposely done that way. It could be me overanalyzing it, but I saw a couple other playthroughs, and a lot of other players did that as well. So that was just a quick thought. Moving on.
This can't be good.
No. Lots of no. No. Again, I hate the slide mechanic. I gotta say, it's very cool visually, but it's terrifying. Ow. Alright, here we go. Here. Ow.
Jump now! Hold on!
Like, and right here. Oh, that's a broken rib. Easy. Channeling Obi-Wan Kenobi's maneuver from episode 2?
Going somewhere.
I mean, I was.
I recognize that stance. Perhaps you've had some training after all. Who was your master, Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps? What Jedi gave their life so that you might live?
All right, here we go. Oh, no. Oi.
That strike will be your last.
Okay, so... Oh, God. You know, interesting enough, playing this now, after having finally beaten her... Whoa! The combat, she actually keeps her stance and everything pretty similar to the final battle, but she still messes me up.
Get on board!
So because I've beaten this game, that scene holds a lot more weight than when I first played. And this is a very dangerous maneuver. Can't say I recommend it. Cal, can you put the lightsaber away? Lightsaber away, please. Can't put the lightsaber away.
Okay, shut that thing off.
Thank you, Grease.
Grab some seed.
Thanks for the help. But who are you people?
My name is Seer Junda, and this is my captain, Grease Dritus.
How you doing?
Yeah, the Mantis is my ship, but you better pay attention to this lady here.
So, who are you?
Cal, Kestis. Who was that back there?
An Imperial Inquisitor. She's a Force user hunting Jedi survivors. And now that she knows who you are, she will not stop until she destroys you.
How do you know so much? And why'd you help me?
We track Imperial communications. We heard the Inquisitors were heading to Braca, so we made our move.
Oh, yeah? And what's the bounty on Jedi these days anyway?
That's gratitude for you.
Look, I get it. You've been surviving on your own for so long that it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive. But this is about something bigger than just surviving.
Like what?
Like rebuilding the Jedi Order.
You too? Anybody else?
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
The Jedi Council?
They're gone.
Oh. So I'm all you've got.
Captain, set a course for Bogano.
Aye, aye.
In the meantime, try and relax. Go, you're safe. For now.
You gotta move on and live your life. Find your destiny. Calico!
You were talking in your sleep. Weirdo.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Screez. That's awesome. Okay. So, I don't think I'm going to get into any new topics just yet. Because there's gonna be more talking in a minute. Like right now? Oh, I'm supposed to interact with this thing. No? Am I wrong? Huh. Well, alright then. I guess I will talk for a second. So one thing I'll say, like now we've officially exited the tutorial. They've taught us all the basic skills involved with this set of mechanics, where we've got the guard meter, where you can block enemy attacks as long as it's not a strong attack. You can, however, if your guard or an enemy guard breaks, you'll be temporarily vulnerable and can sustain a lot more damage. You can do a simple dodge or a roll to get you more distance. The dodging roll, however, will take you out of enemy range and you won't be able to strike back either. That's one of the tough things about this game, in that if you constantly stay far away, you do not have a ranged attack. You have to get in close. You have to get in range. Like, if they can hit you with a stick, you can hit them with a stick. So there's that. And a big part of this game is... Oh, now it shows up. A big part of this game is the parry mechanic, which basically will break their guard a lot faster, and that hinges on it. But we'll talk more about that in a minute.
That song, I wrote it years ago. You touch an object and witness events connected to it. You feel its history.
It's an echo in the force from the object.
Not many Jedi have that skill.
How would you know that?
I was once a Jedi, but not anymore.
Do I know you?
No. But I knew your master, Jaro Tapal. He was a true guardian of the Republic.
He was a hero. Listen. Something happened to me during the purge. I survived, but my connection to the Force is damaged. When I meditate, if I let my guard down, I lose control. And it's like I'm back in that moment when...
You survived, Cal. And you're not alone. Not anymore.
We're coming up on our destination.
Classic music.
This is Bogano. A Jedi I knew discovered it before the Purge. You won't find it on any maps.
The Empire doesn't know this place exists?
No.
So, what's the plan? We hide out here?
We're done hiding, Cal. See that structure over there? I believe that vault holds the key to rebuilding the Jedi Order. But it requires someone strong in the Force to pass its test.
And since you're not a Jedi anymore, that's why you need me.
I know you don't trust me. And I'm not really sure I trust you. But we have a common enemy. And a common cause. I'll share more of my plan after you reach the vault. But, until then, there's someone here I think you should meet. May the Force be with you.
All right, so a few things to unpack
Guess
there.
I'm looking for a Jedi then.
Or
if there's
are
already
you,
one
though?
here, why does Seer need me?
Also, how cryptic of a Jedi, and typical of a Jedi, to say, oh, you're here to meet someone, walk away, and not give you any other details. Great. Also, I was about to say a few things. So, let's just unpack a few things. First off, tutorial level. Splitting up what you need to learn into very small, easy-to-learn chunks. Guiding you where you need to go through visual learning, I guess you could say, using camera angles and framing, through physical objects, either in the terrain or like the piping we saw, motion, anything you do to grab the viewer's eye and help out and direct them where they need to go, providing a safe place to learn techniques, teaching you one thing at a time, and then putting things together, such as with the the mixture of things you can grab onto, and then mixing in with the slide later, teaching you one component of navigation and then mixing them together later, and giving you time to learn things, such as not having the stormtroopers attack you for the first time until you actually press the attack button. Oh, I can light. Oh my God, I can light everything on fire. Put that away, Cal. Thank you. And using common textures and shapes to show you what's interactive and what you can do with it. All that combined together makes a really good tutorial level and avoids the typical, hey, you need to go over there. And, oh, hello. You guys are so cute, but you always run away from me. It makes me sad. But this also has to do with something called the flow rate, which basically says if you can match a challenge to the current skill level of the user, then they will be engaged. This is what promotes the whole loss of time thing. I definitely encourage you to check it out and read up more about it, or you can sign up for one of our classes and apply it toward building a level in Dungeons and Dragons or something. I'm sure you've seen me talk about it. Oh, I forgot about you. I don't know if that thing is fightable, but I didn't actually try that in my previous playthrough. Maybe we'll try it out this time. Anyway, I'm going to stop this playthrough here. We kind of did a quick summary of everything. Next playthrough, I think I'm going to get into a little bit more about combat because there's not as much stuff being thrown my way this time. So I'll be able to dissect it a little bit more. And we'll also learn a little bit more about Cal's character and how they actually reinforce this through the game mechanics. So we're going to go ahead and start examining Bogano and have some fun with that. So if you liked this video and you enjoyed what you learned, go ahead and give us a like. Consider subscribing and checking out all their other content that we're going to have. We've got a whole schedule up of stuff coming out throughout the day, various different things to teach, 3D animation, programming, even, you know, I think we got some sound design stuff coming out. It's a whole slew of things that I can't even remember it all. So go ahead and check out our channel. Hope you enjoyed. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. And, no, Cal, no, no. We talked about this. Thank you.